مانيا بلانت ويوبي سوفت عرضوا في E3 2011 بلوس أنجلوس لعبة جديدة تراك مانيا 2 كانيون، لعبة سباق سيارات حامية وحماسية جدا على PC أونلاين، ستصبح متاحة للاعبين في شهر سبتمبر.
Featuring the new installment of the franchise Trackmania. It is called Trackmania 2 Canyon, and it is to be released this September on PC. Trackmania 1 was released 8 years ago, and since then we had over 10 million registered drivers. We have 700,000 players playing every month, and an average of 100,000 players playing daily. So it's quite still very big of a community, a very active community on Trackmania 1. And we're delighted to bring Trackmania 2 to that community in September. Think about Trackmania 2 not as a 2 sequel, but as a square, like twice the power of Trackmania. So it's not more of the same, it's better of the same that we're bringing to the player. And also we're giving even stronger instruments to the players so they can create their own maps and share their maps and compete against each other all over the world. It's just a PC game. It's very important that it's an open environment, as open as possible, so that the players can express their creativity at their utmost. We are delighted to have US community players joining us for the 3 days at E3, and they've been showing off the new installment of Trackmania. So Jonathan is playing a track right now, and he's actually a very good driver. He's playing against 6 other players on a local network, and he's playing on maps that have been created specifically by players for today and for the show here. So it's just finished, and in 10 seconds he will restart the game competing against everybody. You can choose a car, and then you can customize it as much as you want. You can paint it, you can draw things onto it, but you can add labels and Legos and everything. So here it's a time attack race. So you're playing against 6 other players, but you're also playing against yourself because you will have to beat your time all the time. So here you saw it did a wall ride, so he went over the wall, over a jump, and here he's first, trying to race as fast as possible. As you can see, it's very beautiful graphics, it's very fluid, it's over 50-60 frames per second, and everything is on a local network. It's all about fun. It's online madness racing. The website is www.maniaplanet.com.
كما أصبح معلوما موضة العصر اليوم هي التابلت PC، الكمبيوتر اللوحي و3D شاشات ثلاثية الأبعاد. توشيبا أيضا في CES 2011 بلاس فيغاس قدمت تابلت PC جديد سيصبح متوفرا في الأسواق في ربيع العام الجديد 2011، وأيضا قدمت لابتوب بشاشة 3D ثلاثية الأبعاد لألعاب الكمبيوتر.
We are bringing our tablet to market with the Android 3.0 operating system, the honeycomb version, so it's the latest version that's out there. We're powering the Toshiba tablet with an NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core processor that actually is optimized for fast mobile web browsing. We've put that into a platform that has a 10.1-inch display, and that is a high-definition display. So 720p, so you get great quality video and pictures on that screen. Additionally, the back panel on our tablet is removable, so you can actually swap the batteries. So you can actually get a spare battery for your tablet. They can also replace that back panel with a different color panel. The tablet features 2 cameras on it, a front camera for doing video chats, and a back camera for taking other pictures and other video. It also has an HDMI connection. Now this is great because on our tablet you can actually run Flash video and other types of Flash content. And with the HDMI, what that means is that if you don't want to look at it on this screen, you can look at it on your big screen Toshiba TV and hook it into your home theater. Or if you're doing a lot of presentations for work, you can even plug that into a data projector to be able to show that on the big screen. We have plenty of other connections as well, including 2 USB ports. We have an SD card slot, which lets you add additional memory to the tablet and really gives you a lot of flexibility. The screen is a touch screen, so you can use multiple fingers on there at the same time to really control and manipulate things that you have on there. We're going to be releasing it with Wi-Fi as well, so instead of having to lock into a service provider, we just have Wi-Fi for our connectivity, which gives you as much flexibility as you can handle. This is the Satellite A665 3D laptop. What this laptop does is it uses a special type of display and NVIDIA graphics card to give you 3D gaming and 3D movies through the special set of glasses. So when you want to play a game in a really immersive way and really feel like you're in there and get a sense of depth, that's what the 3D gives you. One of the really nice things about that is that even if a game is not written specifically for 3D, hundreds of games released over the past couple of years already have the information that's in there to support in 3D. So you can play 3D games on here, or you can watch 3D Blu-ray movies on here and get that in-depth experience, or you can even output that through the HDMI connection to a 3D capable TV and use this as the source player for all that information. One of the ways that, one of the great things about that is that even when you use it as a 2D laptop, you don't have to wear glasses for it. Then you can just turn off the 3D and it looks just like another laptop, so you get the best of both worlds. You'll see a lot more information appear on our website at us.toshiba.com.
كاليبسو ميديا جروب عرضت العديد من ألعابها هنا في E3 2011 بلوس أنجلوس. من بين هذه الألعاب تروبيكو 4. كيف تحكم جزيرة سياسيا اجتماعيا وحياتيا ديمقراطيا أو ديكتاتوريا؟ لنتعرف معنا على هذه اللعبة وهي على بي سي، اكس بوكس 360، اكس بوكس لايف. Tropico 4.
Tropico 4, basically the goal is you're this leader on a Caribbean kind of island, and your overall goal is to just stay in power for as long as possible and achieve that by using whatever means possible. So you can either be a benevolent leader or a ruthless dictator, of course, and keep your people oppressed, or run it as a democracy. One of the exciting new features we have in the game in Tropico 4 is these natural disasters which happen in real time. And for example, here we see an oil spill disaster which is taking place right now. And yeah, there's several ways to react to these natural disasters, and the way you react to them will actually influence your rule and your government, your respect from the people on the island. Since this is an island where I'm making a lot of money from the tourism sector, I'm going to want to have this cleaned ASAP. So I can click on the tanker, click on clean, and it calls in these little helicopters which would spray chemical on the oil to make it, to dissolve it. Yeah, the overall island size is really huge compared to Tropico 3, where you will have a lot of space. So this is a nicely developed city you have here, and there's plenty of room to expand on that, you will see. And the largest islands in Tropico 4 are up to 4 times the size of Tropico 3, so that gives you plenty of room to build your own dream empire. You can play it in this view from top, kind of like a city builder, and you can zoom in to street level and actually see the individual citizens going by their daily lives, and they are all simulated with their own demands and their own skills, and you can actually see their whole family tree. So the classic city building gameplay elements is where you just click the right mouse button and place down buildings, and it's really easy to do. My favorite feature is a new building for Tropico 4, which is the Council of Ministers. And this is a building that allows you to have your own ministry run on the island, and you can select a building and just go in and appoint ministers for the certain departments. For example, for the economy, I'm clicking this and I get the choice between those Tropican citizens that are actually on the island. Of course, a minister for the economy will give you a boost in export prices, so you trade with foreign nations. And on top of that, you also have to handle foreign superpowers. For example, when the game starts in the 1950s and 60s, you have the US and Russia as superpowers. You have to balance them off. And then later on, you'll have Europe entering, China and the Middle East, and they all have different demands. And if you don't fulfill their demands, they will get angry at you and maybe at some point send their military on your island. It's all real time. You can actually change the speed of the game. You can fast forward it to speed it up, so that's all possible. online, you have to go to www.worldoftropico.com.
تتابعون ايتك عبر الحرة والحرة دوت كوم ويوتيوب دوت كوم الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتك شو. تتابعون ايتك عبر الحرة والحرة دوت كوم ويوتيوب دوت كوم الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتك شو. دريفت التي تلعب أونلاين على شبكة الإنترنت أطلقت بالعام الماضي من هنا من E3، وهذه السنة في E3 2011 أيضا دريفت موجودة مع دايناميك كونتنت، مضمون جديد حيوي.
We're showing off a new patch, a new update to the game with a giant dungeon. We want to show people off how cool it is. We start a world event, and this is a quest that everybody on the entire world is now on. So everybody now can click on here, and you'll get the objectives on what to do, and basically you're playing with everybody else in the world. And I'll show you basically the opening of a giant raid dungeon called Hammernail. And we'll start it with a little in-game cinematic. And you'll see there's other players who will join us. This is on our alpha server, and they're helping us play test this and QA it. So as you go forward here, they're beating down the door. So they've just broken the door open, and the monster would jump out. So this is Mernantics, and when the players basically finish the quest, this is what happens at the end of the quest as they open up Hammernail. Mernantics charges out, and basically the Guardians and Defiance will be attacking him. So he breaks free, and now he runs back into Hammernail, and it's up to the players to go into Hammernail and destroy him. So I'll show you, we'll jump into Hammernail, you'll get an idea of what it looks like. So this is inside Hammernail. This is a raid instance for 20 people to play. It's very big. It's a raid. It has 10 bosses in it. There's a lot of content. So after you finish the combat and you go through this, well, there's basically an ending encounter with a giant boss. Go down here, attack this guy. He changes into a lobster man. So he's the second to last boss you fight. And then I'm going to show you the last boss and the phases it goes to get to the last boss. So at this point, the raid group needs to move forward, and some tentacles will come out, and you need to attack the boss. This is Achilleos. He's the final boss. And I'll move my camera up here. You can see how big he is. There's my character, little itsy bitsy guy. And then you have the giant Achilleos, and then basically that's the boss you wipe at the end of the game. This is all new content. You download this, riftgame.com, and if you get online, we have a 15-day free trial, so come on, do it, have fun.
الإضاءة عنصر أساسي جدا بعالم التصوير التلفزيوني والسينمائي وكل أنواع التصوير. تقنيات الإضاءة تزداد وتتجدد. هنا في NAB 2011 بلاس فيغاس تقنيات جديدة مع لايت بانلز نتعرف عليها سوا.
What we introduced as a pre-production come prototype last year. We've been busy for this, making this actually the first ever focusable Fresnel. This is our solar series. This is a solar ENG onboard camera light, drawing only 30 watts power, but giving you the equivalent of a 200 watt tungsten fixture. It's completely dimmable from 0 to 100% with no actual visible change in color temperature or shift. and this is focusable from 10 degrees to 70. It gives you a really nice tight spot if you need it, especially in like a backlight situation. Its bigger brother, the Solar 6, this draws 100 watts power, but gives you the equivalent of a 650 watt tungsten light. Again, this has DMX built-in, 0 to 100%, focusable, 50,000 hours lifetime, no degeneration of the bulb in that time, completely heat-free as you can see. So what you're getting a very HD-friendly light that is much more HD-friendly and is far better for cost. DMX in, DMX out, standard protocol 512, just straight from a table, where you compare to traditional studios where you would need a dimmer table, dimmer rack and fixture. The dimmer rack, very expensive part of a studio process, is eliminated because we go straight from the table into the fixture. This is basically a bifocus, this is what I spoke about earlier. Again, this is the dimmer. This just gives you the chance to switch between the lenses. Again, as you see, everything we have has the ability to have DMX. We have address bar, DMX in, DMX out. We use Cat 5 cable as our DMX control just because it's a much better communication cable compared to traditional XLR. 2 dials, one for your output and one for your actual focus on this. This is a fixture using 72 high watt 1 watt LEDs to give a throw of over 25 feet. This comes in a very tough aluminium housing. Again, we have the dimmable 0 to 100 feature, but also again our standard DMX integrated that will match then with the rest of our products. This will give a throw of 20 to 25 meter with a 10-degree beam. I won't aim it at the camera, but maybe you can see just from that. Also, what we've done on this version, we've given the option for a gimbal application. So if you don't want to use the yoke, you can go with a gimbal plate, which will then go into existing setups in studios if required. For more information on all of our products, please go to www.lightpanels.com.
أجواء تلامس الحقيقة بالصوت وصورة داخل الدوم. Univisual Technologies قدمت السوفت وير وجدوم قدمت الهاردوير ليخلقوا جو جديد بعالم الألعاب. لنتعرف كيف.
Software is called Warpalizer, and it's basically a software that hooks onto the game, so you don't have to do any special thing with your game. You could use any type of game. This happens to be Black Ops, Call of Duty. This is a 2 projector system, and to make it a single screen, you use our software, and you have an overlap between the 2 projectors, and you edge blend them together. And you also do a correction of the image, because otherwise it would get distorted by the curvature of the screen. It's a brand new software. We started to sell it in 2009, and this is the first test with the gaming industry. We're trying to see if it's interesting for the gamers. You install our software, and then you put one file in the same directory as the game, and then it works automatically. So you don't have to change anything in the games. The one thing you have to change in this game is the field of view. You have to have the right field of view. So you have to be sure that the game can change the field of view. This is a jDome. So this is a foldable. You can fold it like an umbrella and stuck it so you can have it in your living room. And then when you don't want to have it in the living room, you fold it up and put it under your bed or something like that. It's a back projection system, so you don't stand in the way of the beam, because otherwise you will see your head on the screen. What we use here are home cinema projectors you can buy in any store, and it depends on what type of lenses the projectors have. So you can have short throw lenses that have the projectors very close to the screen. In this case, it's more cheaper to buy projectors with not so wide lens. Here we get a lot of pixels and light for that kind of money. So it's a very price efficient product. This jDome, I think it costs about $2,000. And our software costs, if you're a gamer, a home gamer, it costs $600. And if you're a professional, it costs about $1,200 per channel. And this is a 2-channel system, so it will cost about $2,400.
Here we use a simple laptop that you can buy in any store. It's nothing special about it. It has 2 outputs. You could also have one PC for each projector to get more graphics power. You go to www.univisual.se.
لمحبي السباحة والرياضات البحرية أصبح بإمكانهم الآن اصطحاب هواتفهم أو كاميراتهم أو حتى الآيباد إلى البحر واستعماله تحت الماء أو بالقرب من الماء من خلال دراي كيس مضاد للمياه يمكن تشغيل من خلاله الأجهزة بشكل طبيعي كما ترون. لنتعرف على دراي كيس في ماكورد 2011 بسان فرانسيسكو.
This is a waterproof case for any electronic. We have the patent on the vacuum seal where it works for any cell phone, camera, or MP3 player, keeping it completely waterproof. With our waterproof case, you can use all the functions directly through the case, and also it'll form to not only one cell phone, but digital cameras and MP3 players as well. We also make waterproof headphones as well, so if you swim laps, surf, any water sports, you can also listen to your music out on the water. We've got our athletic removable armband here. It comes right off, just like that. So if you take any pictures, you can remove that and have crystal clear vision. As far as other cases, we have this size for our cell phones and cameras, and now our new iPad size. So it also works for the Kindle and other popular tablets. So if you're using an iPod, you want to plug in your phone, your camera, if you're going to be using music, right inside the case. Line these up, put them inward, and then this is our patent right here, pumping the air out until you can't pump it anymore. And that is completely waterproof. You can purchase it off our website at drycase.com, as well as roughly 350 retail stores from dive shops to surf shops, pretty much any outdoor store.